Hey, well, welcome to part 2 of the interview portion. How'd you feel about the first part? Pretty easy?
It was good. Yeah, not too bad.
Well, so I just have a few follow-up questions for you.
Okay.
The first one being is, it sounded like you were maybe a little reluctant to become self-employed. You had to kind of take a leap. Was it your daughter that convinced you, or?
100%.
Yeah.
It was her.
How'd that go?
Now I was also knocking on 38 years old, and my doctor of 10 years was retiring.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't want to go get another job.
Yeah.
Not that that's old, but didn't want to do it. It's hard to find good people to work for. And so she said, let's give it a try. And that's what we did.
And she was only 15 at the time, is that what you said?
Yes.
What brought that on? Was she just an entrepreneurial spirit from the beginning, a rebel at heart?
She was. So when she was a kid, she would make like macaroni art.
Yeah.
Glitter, anything on it. I was kind of crafty, and I showed her how to do things. We did scrapbooks together, and she would go make something and bring it to me. And we're talking at like 5 to 7 years old. And she would say, "Do you think someone would buy this?"
Yeah.
And I would say no. And she would go change it and add something to it and bring it back and say, "Now?" And I didn't know what she was doing. And
Yeah.
I said, well, I will. Do you want me to buy it from you? She said, no, I want people to buy it.
Yeah.
And so then, through the years, we were watched a lot of HGTV.
Mm-hmm.
That was our hobby. And we did a lot of projects, a lot of painting things. And then over the years, she kind of got more skill. I showed her how to use some tools. And the night I taught her how to use the compound miter saw. The garage is right on the other side of the house from my bedroom. And she cut pieces of boards all night long to put together to make wooden signs that she then stenciled and painted and stained and made into different art.
Yeah.
And that was how she started her business. And she was I think she might have been 16, because we opened our business together, and then she found her passion was painting and home decor and building things.
And that's what she's doing right now, huh?
Yes, yeah. And so she had made, a stencil of a deer buckhead sign. She sold it. Someone bought it from her. And then they found her again about a year later and said, hey, can you make me another one just like it? And they showed it to her, and it was her very first sign she had made. And her skill had gotten so much better at that point. So she said, I can't make another one like it, but how about I make you 2 matching, and I buy this one back from you? And so she got her first sign that she ever sold back.
Well, that's a good story.
And it's kind of awesome to
Yeah.
see, because it's terrible. So she gets to see where she came from.
So was she helping you run the business when you first started? How was she managing that in school and everything?
It was crazy. I still worked full time the first year we were open.
Oh, that makes it even tougher.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I would drop her off at our nutrition club. We had another friend that kind of helped out a little and was there with her. And I would go to work, do my medical office manager job. And then thankfully I worked for a surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
So he was only in the office about half time, seeing patients for consult and post-op. And then when he went to surgery, I packed up my stuff and worked remote from the nutrition club.
Oh, wow.
And since he was in the process of retiring, he let me do that, knowing I needed to build my business.
Let you slide a little.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I just brought all my work with me, kept everything done, but was able to run 2 businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But she worked it pretty full time. She started doing homeschool, did her schoolwork from there. And
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It was interesting. And then we went home and, I told you we brought all of our furniture with us.
Yeah. Just do an empty house for a little while, huh?
An empty. We sat on lawn chairs
Okay.
in our living room, and it was awesome.
I mean, that's really the entrepreneurial hustle right there, right?
Yes. And so people will look at me now, she's getting ready to open another store, and they said, she's just a chip off the old block. And I said, I'm the chip.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like,
she's the one.
She's the one that makes it happen, and she's a good inspiration.
So why'd you guys decide on health nutrition stores? Because that was kind of a new trend when you were jumping into it, right? Now they're everywhere, it seems.
Yes.
But
It was very new. I was already using the products.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had no plans of ever doing it as a business. It's definitely something anyone can pick up and do. I had a lot of passion for it, and since I was in the health industry already, it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it was easy for us to transition, even though we had no clue how to run a business.
Yeah.
To do that type of business, it just made a lot of sense.
Okay. Was it hard to source your vendor at the beginning? Did you just use like one specific product, or do you have a bunch now?
Yeah.
Or
Nope, just one brand.
just one. Okay. When you first got opened, did you have to deal with any like health permits, licenses, those kind of things? So you're a food place, right? So I'm assuming you have to have inspections and all that nonsense.
Yeah, just some inspections. What we do is pretty minimal. We don't do a lot of cooking, and Bethany is a little more lax in some of their laws than others.
Are they?
But health department, all your normal inspections.
You still have to deal with the county as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just show up sometimes, don't
They
they?
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You had mentioned something in the first portion of this where you had said that you opened up just hoping people would find you. What was the kind of realization that you needed to get out there, and how did you get out there at the beginning?
In the beginning, my, the company that I am in, we have, like, the person that signed me up is my coach. The person that signed her up is her coach. And so it's a good support system.
Mm-hmm.
And her coach had come to visit.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm going to tell you, you might be sitting in here thinking people are just going to walk in your door, and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
She said, no one knows you're here. You need to go out there and let them know you're here. And we printed up, I just actually found some of our first coupons that we had printed, and invite people in, come in and try it. If once you try it, it tastes so good, they typically come back. Just handing out coupons.
Yeah.
Free smoothie down the street, protein smoothies, and getting to know people, and then word of mouth. But definitely a lot of, I don't want to say door knocking. We mostly go into businesses. And so knowing they're in the area every day, we would just go in, introduce ourselves, new business down the street, come see us.
Yeah.
And they do.
Well, and the tea drops, that's probably a big hit. I'm jealous that we haven't got one.
Yeah,
you're
talking about that before.
Are we? Okay.
Yes.
I'm excited for it. So at your type of business, is it mostly regulars? Like, you see the same customer 3 or 4 times a day, or?
We do. At least once a day. Like, they'll usually, breakfast is our big time.
Mm-hmm.
So 6:30 to 8:30, we are very busy. And then we'll slow down a little bit. We have a good lunch crowd. And then we're out by 2.
Yeah.
And so we do see a lot of maybe come in for breakfast, come back for an afternoon pick-me-up.
Yeah.
So they may get their breakfast meal replacement, come in for and usually a morning energy drink also, and back in for an afternoon energy drink.
Is that pretty much the majority of your business? Not a lot of people are just coming in for like a one-off once in a while?
I don't see many that don't come back.
Yeah.
Most everyone, one way or another, they'll look at the menu and think, I want to try that next time.
Okay.
And so we have a pretty big menu. Just, I can't even tell you how many flavors. And so you see one, you can't make up your mind, so you say, I'll come try that in a minute.
You had mentioned that you did kind of what I did, opened during COVID, which is the worst thing that you could possibly do. I opened my business in December, expecting 2020 to be my banner year, and boy, was I wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're not essential, but you guys were allowed to be open.
We were essential, so we put up some caution tape. No one could hang out. We had our 6-foot rule, and we still did tea drops.
Yeah.
So we did a lot we have a lot of medical community around us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess they would all be essential and in the office still.
So they, at least we knew they were still there. We would take the teas. They wouldn't let us in the building. We'd leave them at the front doors, and they would disperse them through whatever, some of the nursing homes type things or the children's center, and they would hand them out, and then they would come back and find us.
Okay.
So it kind of worked out.
Were you able to stay relatively profitable for that year of COVID, or?
Surprisingly, we did amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
That is surprising. And you think it's just, I guess, the regular customer base. They're always coming in for their breakfast.
Everyone was so concerned about being healthy during that time.
Oh, that makes complete sense. Yeah.
We're wellness. And we have great immune boosters. We have, and just the energy. There was no energy anywhere during that time. So everyone's always looking for healthy energy. But a lot of the immunity helped us out a lot.
That would make complete sense, yeah. So your current location and your kind of plans for the future, are you thinking down the line, expanding, 10, 20, 50 stores, or are you just really content with the one location and looking to maximize that?
I'm very content with my location now. As I said, I have a coach, and she has a coach. So I have other people who open stores in other areas.
Yeah.
So I'm always open to expanding my team, and they may decide they want to do this. It's the best thing ever. Like, once you do it, you never look back.
Okay. Explain that a little bit further. So when you say coach, you have somebody that above you, and then you have people that are working, and you said that they're not really employees. They kind of work for themselves.
Right.
How does that whole business kind of work, I guess?
So it's a multi-level.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone, like, you just sign up. If someone wants to sell products, they can sell. They don't have to. You can be just a member that buys products for your own home use.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do sign up to be a member or a distributor, you save money. And so it's a good deal, and there's no catches. There's no funny business. When I initially signed up, my dad said, Pam, we don't sign up for things. There's always a catch.
Yeah, a lot of those multi-level kind of marketing deals have real terrible terms, or you end up going broke. I've seen a lot of people lose money, but this one works out pretty good.
There's no minimum. You don't have to buy anything to stay active. You don't have to do a certain amount every month. You just do what you do, and if you don't want to do it, you don't.
So it's pretty straightforward then. You're just buying this product and then and then doing that. So what is the product that you buy from them specifically? It's just like a powder or drinks?
Most everything is in powder form. It's just healthy, like vitamin packed, protein boosted shakes.
Yeah, and then you add your kind of twist on them.
A little bit. We can kind of mix them up. You can add other sugar-free flavors to it, or nuts, cinnamon, different, anything that's kind of a natural add-in. I don't mind. I don't like to add anything that's going to make it unhealthy for us.
Right.
But it can taste anywhere from like a banana nut bread to a peanut butter cookie, and it's just, it tastes as good as ice cream. And so when you're drinking something healthy that tastes that good, it's super easy to keep drinking it.
Okay, fair enough. I guess maybe I should get into that. I need to cut down on the weight myself. So, in this market, are there kind of any new trends, new ideas? It seems like every day there's some new health trend.
Right.
How are you guys kind of staying ahead of that, or is the product that you have just so good that it kind of speaks for itself?
Exactly. It's the oldest nutrition product on the planet, ranked number 1, and they do randomly kind of pick new things to bring out. They have like a new vegan line that came out a couple years ago. Ice protein coffee. There's always something new happening, so everyone's into coffee.
Yeah.
Or we got into coffee. And then just the energy. The energy is addictive.
Yeah.
And we all need it to run, and we don't slow down. So we need healthy ways to get it.
Okay. If somebody wanted to kind of follow in your path and your footsteps, they should just check out the products and is there some resources to learn how to do what you're doing? Or?
So coming into the nutrition stores, the purpose of the nutrition store was to introduce people to the product. So when I first joined the company, there were no nutrition stores, and I had to buy 30 days worth of product at a time, minimum, and that would be one flavor. So if I wanted more than one flavor...
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, so it's 30 servings of each flavor that you might want to try, where we're here to let you come in and try one shake. And if you like it, you'll come back and try another shake.
Yeah.
And then when you find the one you love, we always let you know, if you want to do this at home, you can make it yourself. You can make everything we do. And then we kind of coach you through that. I just got a message on the way over here that I walked her through how to make her shake in her blender, how much ice, how much water, how much powder. And she messaged me and said it was perfect.
Yeah.
She had tried to make it before, and it was all watery and slushy. And she said, I don't know what I did wrong. And so I just told her what I do. And she said it was the exact measurements.
Okay. Well, any thoughts, or we really try to help small businesses here and people kind of venturing out on the self-employed. Any thoughts or tips or struggles that you could lend a hand to people? What do you think?
I think one of the biggest tips is you don't have to start big.
Yeah.
You can start small. You can bring your own sofa from your living room.
That's just a classic first time business owner hustle. You just move all your stuff in and
make it
that's
work.
Your furniture.
Yes, you can get furniture at a thrift store. When we do a lot of blended drinks, and now I have a kind of fancy blender. For the first 3-4 years, we had more than 4 maybe. We had the $20, $22, $22.98 Oster blender from Walmart.
Okay.
We had 4 of them.
Yeah.
So we could alternate them, so we didn't overuse one, because we do make a lot of drinks in a day. And then someone gifted me my first kind of fancy blenders.
Oh, like a professional level.
Yes. Yeah. And it's when, you push a button and you can walk away from it. Where mine, we'd push a button and switch it to another button, and we'd have to kind of manipulate it to get a great drink. But you can start small. You don't have to be scared and go into huge debt. Start as small as you can. As long as you have belief in your product. And I'd used my product for several years first, and I had a great result. I started it when I was pretty unhealthy. I was having chest pains, and I'm a single mom. Yeah, single mom. I knew I was overweight, and I saw my coach. We grew up together, and I saw her on social media, and she'd had this great result. She lost 100 pounds in 10 months. Like, I don't know what she's doing, but obviously I need to talk about this. I sent her a message and said, how do I get it? Is it legal?
Is it legal? Okay.
You're the first person to ask me that.
I think it's a fair first question.
You never know. Yeah. And so she told me exactly what to order. She said, but she was in Texas at the time. She said, you need to sign up. There's nothing funny about it, but you'll save some money. You're a single mom. And so I signed up, ordered everything she told me to order, told my parents about it. They said, get enough for us too. We need to be healthier. And so we jumped in. And I was worried. I'm pretty picky. I was worried I was going to have to choke it down. They were great.
Really?
My first shake, she told me how to make it was to taste like a Butterfinger candy bar. And it did. And so I drank Butterfinger every day for 2 years because I didn't want to try anything else. I was scared I wouldn't like it. And then my daughter and I started playing around.
Yeah.
And we'd mix up some stuff. We made some things that were kind of undrinkable. We usually still drink them because we don't waste it.
Yeah.
And so it was fun. I mean, you can just throw anything in a cup.
Yeah.
Anything, keep it healthy, throw it in the cup, make your own creations and combinations. But as long as you keep trying,
yeah,
you won't fail.
Does your product, is it just like what you replace one or maybe breakfast and maybe lunch and then have a regular dinner? Mm-hmm. It's not like full.
No.
Yeah.
It depends what your goals are. If you just want like wake up and feel good energy, get your vitamins in for the day, you would have one. Then there's a weight loss plan and a weight gain plan, just healthy nutrition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing I want to ask you about, we had kind of been talking before about being a little bit introverted and not a big talker. How do you feel like you kind of broke through that barrier? Because for me, it was very difficult. My first few meetings were horrible. I mean, the first few times I did this were terrible. I've been trying to get a little better, but do you have any tips or thoughts on how you kind of break that wall and just get more comfortable engaging?
It's hard because I am very much an introvert. When I do leave for the day, I love to go home and not say another word.
Yeah.
I love it.
I feel that to my core. I could not talk to people for days and be just happy as a clam.
Right.
But
now, I would say my spiritual gifts, like hospitality, is my gift, which is strange that I would want to be that person making people feel at home. But I like people to be comfortable, to feel good, and to help people come from the medical field. And so I did have to break out a little in the medical field, and that helped a lot. But still, I have to have a big recharge at the end of it. As much as I like talking to people, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
It is. And we're kind of like your healthy bartenders, so we take on a lot of the people come in and tell us their problems.
Oh, almost, yeah, like a real bartender, a psychiatrist too.
Yes, we're on the other side of that counter. And as much as I love it, I'm a fixer. So it took me a few years before I realized, hold on, I don't need to fix their problems, because that was exhausting.
Yeah.
Once I realized I just need to listen to them and be a smile and be the bright light maybe that they see for the day. Maybe I'm the only nice person they talk to all day. That's my job. And so once I realized that I don't need to take their problems home, because I'd take them home and try to fix them. And so it really helped me not give away all of my energy, I guess. But it's still hard.
Yeah.
I'm still, as much as I love them, I'm still an introvert at the end of the day.
How do you recharge yourself? It just relax and easy Sunday, or do you have any specific rituals? I think you said something about a walking group too.
Yeah, time with friends, family, and then definitely quiet time. Yeah. Yeah, I need one day of quiet time a week. And I just hang out a lot of outside. If I got into plants, until I was 50, I couldn't keep a plant alive to save my life. And then apparently after 50, I am now a crazy plant lady.
Oh, you just got the green thumb for some reason.
Apparently, it turned on. And, if you come over to my shop and look around for a minute, you'll notice she does have a few plants in here, like probably 50. And I chop them up, propagate them, put them in water, get new plants growing. You never have to buy plants once you have plants. Mm-hmm. They just keep making more plants. And I feel bad to throw them away. And so I just keep making more plants. So I get my hands in the dirt a lot. And that is therapy, and that is calming and grounding, and it resets you, recharges you.
Well, that seems very healthy.
Yes.
Just all around.
Yeah.
Well, everybody can find you at Hello Nutrition if they just Google that. Yep. And you're here in Bethany. Any final thoughts?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Our goal is to help you make one good choice at a time.
You know what? That's a great goal to have.
Yeah.
Just one good choice a day, I think, and you'll be a lot better off.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we really appreciate your time. It's been great.
Awesome.
Thank you.